Hello, fellow YouTubers. It's me, myself, and I again, also known as Warren. I'm going to title this one, Dinner with Warren. I had a couple people that asked me in the comments, who cooks for me? When do I eat? I eat a lot. I eat too much sometimes. So today, what I'm having for dinner, in which I cooked, I have cabbage, which has green peppers, red peppers, and onions in it. And I have cube steak that I marinated overnight. I did a dry rub marinade, and I cooked it today for a couple of hours in the crock pot. And I always use a crock pot liner whenever I cook my meats, because believe it or not, that also helps to seal in the moisture and know your food don't taste like the plastic. I know plenty of you probably think that, but no, it doesn't. And the meat came out really good. So to answer your question, yes, I do cook, but being that it's just me, sometimes it's hard to cook for one person. And is it better to order those portion control meals, like with Factor and all those places? I actually tried it. The food was pretty good. Of course, once my discount was up, I canceled it. As far as cabbage, I know a lot of people make it different kind of ways. I just like to churn mine up real fine. Like I say, throw some peppers and onions in it. And I put just enough chicken broth in there to keep it from sticking to the bottom of the pot. And you just steam it, or you can fry it. I have fried it. I fried it in cast iron. It came out excellent. I happen to love cabbage. It's good for you. I also baked some chicken today, but that's my lunch for tomorrow. I don't want to sit here and look like a real pig with all this food on my plate. I didn't do any rice, and no, I didn't do any bread. I ate enough bread during the week. So, so good. I try to stay away from bread on the weekend, if at all possible. Doesn't always work out like that. And considering I had hash browns again this morning for breakfast, a small amount, I didn't need to load up on bread or anything like that this afternoon. Sometimes I would have a dinner roll, but the things with dinner rolls, single, don't cook more than what you want to eat at that particular time, because you'll end up eating them all in one night. Cube steak, can be prepared many different ways. I just prefer it in a crock pot because it keeps it sit a lot tender. So the way I prepared it, like I said, I marinated it overnight with a dry rub of whatever seasons you want to use. And so I got out my cast iron skillet. I seared it on both sides for like a minute, minute and a half. And there was 4 big ones. So I've got enough lunch for tomorrow. And dinner tomorrow night if I don't get tired of it. And I seared them on both sides. And I cut them each. And I put them in a crock pot. And of course I used the creamy mushroom soup, pack of brown gravy, and my seasons, which I like black pepper, so everything's gonna be a lot of pepper in it. Of course, I put some onions and green peppers in there. But you know, the thing about that with cabbage, you can make it your own, however you want to do it. There is no hard way to cook cabbage, unless you're just gonna leave it raw. Which in that case, to each his own. But it is pretty good. I figure, why not? I'm looking at all these other delicious videos of people eating. Why don't I do one? From where I actually cook. Now, I can get up and turn the camera around, show you the pots and everything. But proof is in the pudding. I did try to dress it up a little bit. I know I'm gonna eat off a paper plate. So I got this old timey granny plate that I'm eating out of, but just for show. I was trying to get my walk in. I finally got that done. And I came back, freshened up, decided to sit down and eat some dinner. And have you all join me. Of course, I had another one of those phone conversations today with another new young lady. Let me just say her whole lifestyle is way too bougie for me. There won't be a callback. It's too much. And I didn't feel like I would fit well in her lifestyle. Well, she started the conversation with, well, I don't be on these sites much. My daughter set it up for me, typical thing. And she goes on into a spiel about her daughter, blah, blah, blah. So I interrupted that because I didn't leave you my phone number for you to start off talking about your kids. I did not do that. So I brought her back in to reality. And she proceeds to tell me that she's too busy. She's got all these different things going on. Her life is so busy. And so I stopped her and I said, well, I don't mean to be rude to interrupt you, but how are you going to find time to date? And I already knew the answer. Because it's the same answers I always get. I make time for who I want to make time for. No, lady, you got way too much going on. And she started talking about, she must have mentioned travel 8 times. I didn't say anything. Which I'm fine with that, but don't just throw it. Don't make that right away. And all the different galas that she attend and dressing up and she, you know, for her to get involved, she wants her man to attend her galas and attend all her functions, and she wants to be able to, as she doing her speech, look out in the audience and say, hey, that's my man. You're not looking for a man. You're looking for a centerpiece. And so I proceeded to tell her that, honestly, I would be bored. I would go to one, but she's making it absolutely clear that this man that she's made up in her head has to attend every function. A gala, or this event, or that party, or all this work-related stuff. She's really talking herself way over her own level, I believe, at this point. I'm like, so you're basically telling me I need to just cash in my life and do what you want, because in between all of these galas and renting all these tuxedos and traveling, can we do something normal like plan a picnic? Oh yeah, we'll be able to do that. And I asked her, what if said man don't want to go to one of your functions because he's already done 3 of them, and y'all have yet to do anything that he's interested in? Well, her answer was, if he can't attend, they would definitely have a problem, and she wouldn't want to be bothered with him. So once again, I'm thinking in my head, this is why they need to hurry and put these AI robots out there, because she can walk to the vending machine and punch in everything she wants and get that exact guy. And I explained to her, I'm too old right now to give up my life, which a lot of times is peace and quiet and absolutely nothing. But I'm too old to give up my life to just cater to you. And only you. And I'm sure she understood that. So she kept going on about all the doctors and people that she's come in contact with, attorneys, and it causes her feel. And I said to her, so you don't have any normal friends? Like Earl, a Duke. I have normal friends. I have bougie friends, but I have normal friends. So you wouldn't fit into my circle no more than I would fit into your circle, because I don't want to give up my weekends with this tuxedo on. Now I would go to an event. Don't get me wrong, y'all. But she really laid it out like this is her life. And yeah, I'm on 5 acres of land. Everything is paid for. And I've da. And then she did mention that both her husbands passed away. So I'm like, okay. So your comeuppings was through life insurance, not necessarily that you're a hard worker. She said, what is that supposed to mean? So I explained it to her. She said, well, that was rude. I said, no. I'm hoping if you was married and you as well put together as you was telling me, they made sure you was taken care of. That's all I'm simply saying. The way I worded it might not came out the way you wanted, but hey, this is real life, baby. This is what you're going to get from me. I'm not going to sit here and script my conversation and change my language. You say you're from LaGrange, which is South Georgia, and I'm from the metro Atlanta area, so we both Southern, so I'm talking my talk. And she, well, yeah, because it's a little bit more Southern that I would like. And I'm like, lady, you from LaGrange, one of the poorest city in the state of Georgia. What the heck are you talking about? I said, see, that right there will be a problem for me because I'm going to be myself. Now, I won't get around your bougie friends and start cursing and doing all that. But I do have friends that like to have great conversation and some serious banter back and forth. There will be some words said. There will be some stuff. And that's not every weekend, but I'm still human. I still like to have a great time. My life is not based on all these weekend galas and these corporate events, and she's talking about she want her man to be available so he can fly to town to go to Texas if she has an event in the middle of the week. I was like, okay, I'm listening to her. And the more she kept describing this man and how he's pretty much got to be a waiter and a do-boy. Pretty much a Stedman, okay? She's looking for a Stedman. There it is. And I said, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's L7 on the vending machine. She's like, Warren, what are you talking about? I said, because it sounds like to me you trying to order a man. And I'm not saying they're not out there like that. But you know, granted you are a little bit older, and you know you're throwing it, your cards on the table, this paid for, that paid for, all these things are paid for, and you need a man to complete the rest of your life. And I said, well, that wouldn't work for me because, once again, I'm not going to give up my entire life to cater to you, just like your housekeeper does. Because she mentioned 5 times she had a housekeeper. Okay, and good. Matter of fact, I'll do the housekeeper. I like the hustle. I take the extra money. And so she mentioned a couple other things, and she went back to, she said, well, she's got a function coming up. I think she said April 20th or somewhere around that time frame, that third weekend in April. And she definitely would like a man to go with her because she's already bought tickets. I said, hold on. You had to pay for your own tickets to go to a company function? Where do you do that at? What kind of function is this? She kept saying she's a Greek, she's this and that and that. So you know what that means. I said, no, I don't know. Now I'm playing dumb. No, explain to me what a Greek is. Well, you know, we do this and we got this life, we got all these things. I say, see, that's what I'm saying. Your life is so scripted. I don't see where the fun part is going to come into this relationship. I'm going to have some fun. I don't want to be hoity-toity around every weekend and your friends looking down their nose at me because, be honest with you, they're going to wish they had somebody other than that stuffed shirt that they brought to the gala. I said, I'm not that stuffed shirt type of guy. I said, I would not fit into your world. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I would not fit into your world. And she said, well, what do you want? How do you want to perceive this conversation? I mean, yeah, you can call me back. We can talk. But what I'm being honest with you is, I am not that guy. I'm too laid back. I'm too reserved. I put in a lot of time. I've earned my peace. I enjoy my peace. Yeah, I do like to get out. I like to go somewhere. But I don't need to show you my passport to identify myself. And I know it kept talking about money and what she had and all these things, but I never mentioned one penny. I never mentioned whether or not I had $2 or $200,000. I never mentioned any money. And then she went on about the pictures and how she look at pictures on these sites, and she look at how the man looks and this and the third and blah blah blah. And I said, well, so you telling me if you had looked at a website and the guy here might have been nappy or mad at the time, that could have been in a situation where he was hanging out having a good time and somebody snapped that picture. He thought it was funny. He had a bright smile, but you wouldn't date him because of the way his hair was based on that picture. So that's what I was trying to explain to her. You are going through trying to pick one out the catalog, because what you are telling me is you're going to be on this level all the time, but you expect that man to be basically a piece of cardboard, a cutout figure. That is not me, ma'am. I'm sorry. I could not be that. I could not be that stuffed shirt to go with you to your gala, because by the time you look out there in the crowd and say, that's my man, I'm going to be over there asleep. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been in situations where I had to go to things like that. I'd already explained to her that it's difficult for me to sit through a 1 hour meeting at work. So I don't want to be stuffed shirt on a Saturday night. It's fine to have every now and then, but if that's your whole itinerary and that's all you do for a fun time, then you need to find somebody that's going to be like-minded. Because I'm here to tell you, I'm not going to give up my life and then be carted around doing all these things, doing all these things just to satisfy you. I would be bored out of my mind. I would have given myself up to just fit into your little world. And I don't want to be a trinket to nobody. You say you have parties in your backyard. You might have 25 couples come over and they have a great night and all these. That's all fine and good. And, they do speakeasies, and she asked me, do I like to read? I said, well, I read all day, every day at work. Everything I do is involving numbers and calculations and specs and owner's requests and all this stuff. I don't own a book of my own, and I'm not going to lie to you about that. Well, have you ever read such a book? I said, no. If you give me that book, I'm going to use it to prop the door open. I just told you, lady, are you listening to me? No, I do not own books. I read enough at work. I absolutely hate to read. I have to do it. But if it's on audio, I'll listen to it. And so she goes on about this Dr. somebody. I'm going to say Dr. Seuss. And his book, and his how world traveled he is, and these things. And she says, I like how he's living his life. I need a man that's world traveled. I said, well, here's the thing. I could be world traveled. The next man you could meet could be world traveled. That doesn't mean he wants you to go with him all the time. So she's not understanding. I'm not trying to be a bookend. I'm not trying to spend that much time with you every weekend. Later, I'm not even trying to be that serious with you right now. A casual meet, a casual date. We can have a great time. We'll have a great lunch. And she asked me, well, how would you see your first date with me? It would not be a first date with you. It would be lunch. It would be a meetup. So, we're not even going to get on that, all the menus you finna pull out that kitchen drawer, we're not even finna get into that, because I'm not out here to feed these professional eaters. If you want to grab lunch and grab tea, that's fine. But back to what I said in the beginning, a casual meetup. Because I don't need, at this point in life, I'm not trying to impress nobody. You get this is what you get. So all that other stuff, That's all fine and good, but I'm not finna put my life of relaxation and life of luxury in my own mind to be carted around and be somebody's bookend and somebody's, all that stuff. No, I can't do it. But anyway, I've eaten my dinner. It was supposed to be dinner with Warren. Everybody's doing the dinner video, so I decided I'll do a food video and rate my own food. It was good. It was delicious. I'm going to get off this camera because I'm so greedy. I'm going to get another plate. I will talk to you all really, really soon.